Hey, mathematicians, let's do our homework. Okay, most of you seemed pretty comfortable with these today, so I'm just going to pick the two ones that are a little bit different. I'll do those, and then we'll flip to the back page. All right, I'm going to start with number 2 because everything we did in class today had 2 terms, but it actually has 1, 2, 3 terms. Don't panic. It just means you cut your box into 3 parts. So we're going to draw our big box. There's my 4. I'm going to cut it into 3 sections. The first section is 3a. I'm going to write my minus on top of the line. Next section is 5b. Minus again, 7. 4 times 3 is 12, which means that 4 times 3a is 12a. 4 times 5 is 20, so 4 times 5b is 20b. And last but not least, 4 times 7 is 28. So when I write my answers, I'm going to write my 12a. I'm going to keep that minus sign, 20b. A and B are different, like apples and bananas. You cannot combine them, so we're leaving them separate. We're also writing that minus sign, and our 28. Apples, bananas, and dollars, all different. So all 3 of them cannot be combined. That's our answer. Number 4, x is our first factor. We've got 2 terms, 2y and 7. X is really secretly, remember we talked about this, a 1x, and 1 times 2 makes 2, and x times y makes x, y smushed together. X times 7, we're going to write as 7x because remember, numbers more important than letters. The number, which we call our coefficient, comes first, and our letter, our variable, goes second. So we have 2xy plus 7x. You cannot combine these. Yes, I see there's an x and there's an x, but this term is xy, and this term is just x. So you have 2 terms in your answer. I think you can handle the rest of this front page on your own. Flipping to the back, I could not delete that thing at the top for some reason, so here we go. Simplify the following fractions. You know how to simplify. We've been doing it practically the whole year. Choose a factor you can simplify by 10, and then simplify your fraction. Find the sum of the integers. Oh my gosh, this is really baby reveal. We can do this. 3 plus negative 3. I think you know what the answer is. 3 plus negative 5. If you're struggling, remember you can do one of these. 3 and 5 for the negative team. Not too bad. These 2 are the ones that might be the hardest on this back page. It is not okay to have a decimal in my divisor. It is okay to have a decimal in my dividend because that'll go inside the house. But if there's one in the divisor, we need to change things before we divide. So this is really 12 with a hiding decimal divided by 0 and 2/10. I am going to slide this 1 time to make that 2, which means I slide this 1 time to make that 120. So your real problem is 120 divided by 2. Make sure that here we are sliding. You're going to have to slide this 1 2 times to make that 7. Do not slide this once because you're like, oh, now it's a whole number. The number of times we slide our decimal depends on our divisor. So if I moved it 2 times here, I'm moving it 2 times here, so you have 350 divided by 7, and you're done with your homework. Ta-da!